Sweet Rising. Happy Wednesday. It is Libra season. It's actually been Libra season for about a week now. About a week ago. Let me stop my bed. What does that mean? Libra is cardinal air. What is cardinal air? Not only is it cardinal air, it is balanced. It is ruled by Venus. And so this is understanding that if you want balance, you must have love. And the Lady of Justice is usually what? Blindfolded. So yes, this deals with getting your heart right, checking in on your heart space. Understanding, you know, what am I feeling? How do I balance it when it comes to X, Y, and Z? With the relationship with yourself, with others, with work. I call upon the Honorable Benevolent Elevated Most High Creator, the Honorable Benevolent Elevated Most High Archangel Michael, and the Honorable Benevolent Elevated Archangel Gabriel. 3 cards. What energy will Libra season bring the collective? And reflecting on those relationships and understanding, what you need to do in order to make them balanced if they're not. And remembering that balance always starts from within. So getting yourself balanced, that is that self-care. You got to keep it cute. 3 cards. I feel like that's very on par for, Libra, heavy Libra and Venus, but Libra placements, you got to keep it cute. 3 cards. But what does that mean for us? That means, especially with all of these things that are getting ready to, okay. So 3 cards did come out, right? 1, 2, 3. In between these, you know what this says? As above, so below, as within, so without. Like I said, it's gonna balance. At the top of the deck, or the bottom of the deck is Lyran. Lyran is a it's a lion. It's a lion starseed alien type thing. Not type thing, but it's type of entity, and it's a starseed. They come from. Do they come from Sirius? They come from somewhere in that belt. Oldest souls in the galaxy, great communicator, strong connection to Earth, and divine masculine. Yes. And so let's see. Do a spirit bath, burn some Palo Santos, rosemary, or cedar, and take a trip/vacation. Yes, treat yourself. When was the last time that you did something for yourself? And it doesn't have to be big, obviously, a vacation or a trip, but spend a day doing something for yourself. You know what I mean? But we have to get balanced first. This is water and air, spirit bath and a smoke bath. Yeah, you have to clean the outside and the inside. This is balance. Making sure the mind and the heart are on one page. Making sure that you can actually hear your heart, feel what you're feeling. Like, what are you feeling right now? If you sit and in meditation or whatever, even just for a minute, what are you feeling? Like, where are you feeling it? Can you feel your body? How connected to your body are you? Because that is what keeps you here on the earth, right? You have to have balance with that as well. 3 cards. I call upon the Honorable Benevolent Elevated Most High Creator, the Honorable Benevolent Elevated Archangel Michael, and the Honorable Benevolent Elevated Archangel Gabriel. 3 cards. How can we move with this energy? Yeah. With everything, well, not everything, but yes, things are getting ready to shift into Scorpio, right? Mars is already in Scorpio. It is going to be squaring Pluto. What does that mean? That means we have to make some hard decisions. So it is important to get clarity and get clear. We won't have the new moon in Libra until the end of the season. So this means, the fact that the message my alarm just went off, but the fact that the full moon is going to be the first moon in Libra season, not only that, but it's Aries. This is most definitely a time to replenish yourself. When you do have to make those hard decisions, like, what are they actually based off of and out of, and are you doing it for the betterment of self, and obviously the other people who are influenced by you. I'm not saying disregard yourself for them, but see, Nine of Swords. Don't disregard yourself for it. Listen, people are going to think however they think when you choose peace. When you choose to balance yourself out, to elevate spiritually, mentally, physically, anything, right? When you decide to cut out energies, spirit bath and Palo Santos, smoke bath and water bath, right? I'm smoking beers. Yes, it is Libra season. my bad. Libra, yeah, they ruled by Venus, who also is Venus is what the morning star. Who is the morning star? Lucifer. So yes, this is like, are you more comfortable living in what you know is a lie, or even if you don't know it to the fullest extent? Like I said, Libra is blind. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, justice, I'll say that. Justice is blind. You have to feel it. So people can say all they want, but you have to feel it. So you can go over everything. You can go over everything in your mind. You can make your pros and cons list, blah blah blah. But like, you have to feel good in the decision that you make, even if it does hurt others, or maybe even hurt yourself. Shit. Like, cutting people and things and places and mindsets off is not easy. It's actually very hard. Healing is not easy, it's hard. But you do birds. You stay with them birds, you're gonna stay stuck in Sodom and Gomorrah, because I just heard Lot's wife. That's not funny. Everyone has the chance to redeem themselves, but are you going to dig yourself out of the belly of the beast? That is the real question. Are you? I can't make this shit up. Are you willing to walk away from the things that, like, this might not be good stuff in here? The 7 of Cups before this, the 7 of Cups, yeah, see, fighting with yourself to either stay or go. But what are you feeling? And what, if you walk away, like, truly, what would you be feeling? You know what I mean? And this is also, like I said, about healing, because when you do not work on pain, blocks your heart, and then you can't feel things accurately. And you know, and this goes for the nervous system as well. Like the body keeps score. The body keeps score. This is emotional, air, and body, right? Actually, we have all 4 colors because Lyran is on a, and Lemurian is right up under that. Let it burn to the, let it burn and don't turn around. Okay, Atlantis. Okay, nothing good happens after 3 a.m. I'm gonna stop. Venerate your ancestors. I'm gonna stop right here. That is very, very, very interesting because the government. Side note: the government has shut down. I pray, you know, if you are on government assistance or know anyone, they are in 0 ways affected. But we know what this government was built off of, right? The society, the world. And so when the plantations burnt down, you know, and then Annabelle got lost. It's not funny. But what am I saying? R.I.P. R.I.P. to Asada Shakur. But there are there's a lot of energy transitioning. They are getting ready for, nothing good happens after 3 a.m. If you've seen, what is that movie? Corpse Bride. I have been hearing that a lot lately. Corpse Bride. I've been hearing the scene when Victor goes to the underworld and they start singing die, we all pass away with something, but it's really okay. You may be a friend, but we all end up if you know, you know. But why do I say all that? Because they got some real things. This is Atlantis, you know. If you know, you know. Right. Let it burn and don't turn around. So we are getting rid of the old world in a much deeper sense, and I think a lot of people understand. And then Lemurian and Lyran, right? Lemurians, great healers and teachers, worked with the earth in harmony. Lyran, great communicator, strong connection to the earth, the oldest soul on the planet. This is divine justice. But coming back into the micro, also though, divine justice. So 3 cards. I call upon the honorable, benevolent, elevated, most high creator, the honorable, benevolent, elevated, most high archangel Michael, and the honorable, benevolent, elevated, most high archangel Gabriel. 3 cards. How can we deal with this energy? But what the two things squaring. Pluto and then, Aquarius and Scorpio. This is getting a higher perspective on what we are feeling, and understand where it stems from, and you know, choosing to take that, because the Scorpio is the highest version of it is a phoenix, right? So being reborn from the ashes, right? 3 cards. How can we deal with this energy? That was the Knight of Cups. So yeah, yes, definitely greeting things with love. 3 cards. Saturn is still retrograde in Pisces. 3 cards. How can we deal with this energy? Saturn is still retrograde in Pisces. 2 more. Oh, 1 more. Yeah. Okay. What is worth the fight? What is actually worth giving to? And you know, if you were on that side of the internet when all of the protests kind of started happening and people were saying, you know, it's, you know, not fully, but you know, don't be on the front lines. It's a spiritual revolution. It's a spiritual war. But why do I say all that? The five of wands, the 6 of pentacles, and then the 4 of wands. Choosing to, like, you have to be careful on what you're choosing to fight. I don't want to say that in a way where it's just like, don't fight at all, but you have to be conscious of where you're putting your energy towards, and if it's actually building a, like, what part, new foundations, new stabilities, right? You know, this is how will you maintain, why do I say maintain? How will you maintain, like, going forward in pursuit of liberation? The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving pentacles. It takes like years. This nigga moves. Earth feels the earthly things. It feels the vibrations of everything. What do I mean vibrations? Like when we think of crystals are vibrating at a certain frequency in order to maintain and help and heal the way that they do. Everything on earth does that. You can pick up things from everywhere, right? That's why you're supposed to go out into nature and get grounded. Well, this is what the Knight of Pentacles does. The Knight of Pentacles says, hey, I'm going to feel everything out. And then, you know, with this pentacle, because this is no small coin. It may look like a small coin, but this is your investment. This is your investment into your stability, your home life. So what fights are you going to fight, and how are you going to fight it in a way where you are still left standing upright? It is better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war type shit. And so the fact that they came out, the last card came out in between here, 3 of Cups. So what actually brings us joy? 3 of Cups is on top of the Ten of Cups, and I'm gonna stop here, but the Wheel of Fortune. So this is, how do I make the wheel turn in my favor for my highest good, and how can I still have that joy intact? And then I brought that up because the Lovers is right. I can't show it too much because their stuff is out, but the lovers is right here. So this is all about choices. This is being able to make those hard choices as well, because 6 also has the scales. 6 has the scales. And then you see, I mean, it's even balanced on more here, and then you see homie got the head wrap on. You got the bandage on. And I'm not saying old boy right here ain't going through shit. You know, his stuff is torn, but you know, no one is free if at least one person is oppressed. You know what I mean? So it's a false sense of freedom if you think just because, hey, these things aren't impacting me right now, they won't ever impact me. No, they will. You being coerced into, you know, and that's that Libra. Also, that is Libra. Going back to Lucifer, the Lucifer analogy, like, what are people saying and what do their actions actually have to show for it? You know what I mean? Um, um, because you can talk all you want about doing good things, bad things, whatever it is, but if you don't actually put the muscle in, and why did I say bad things? Because some people are just meant to be villains. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. It's not funny, but also, like I said, we sign contracts with different entities, and if you can't get yourself out of that contract, like I said, you have to want to crawl out of the belly of the beast. That is hard. That's hard. You have to want to get better, but if you are, when we are in our ignorance is bliss stage, and not really understanding your actions to the fullest, there's still going to be grace and mercy given to you, but at some point, like, you still have to get out of shit. You still have to get out of shit, and you have still created damage. So the only thing you can do, is going forth, understanding that, like, hey, I have to dig myself out of this hole that I dug for myself unintentionally, because I was hurt, because I was X, Y, and Z, because I had thought that X, Y, and Z would, like, if we take it out to the macro, we can say, I thought my government was going to protect me. I mean, if you, not never, but, it is understanding that you have to save yourself. And I'm not saying in like fuck everyone else kind of way, but you have to be able to lift yourself out of stuff, so that, you can decide who gets your energy, who actually gets your energy. You know what I mean? Who actually, as you heal. This is kind of like when people talk about manifesting their way out of poverty and blah blah blah. Like, is it possible? Sure, but like, it's still rooted a lot of the times in exploitation and oppression of others. You know what I mean? So, liberation for all until everybody is free, type shit. But that's also how you have to look at you and the people that surround you, the mindsets you hold. Like, are we truly free? And that is what love is, unconditional love. We're gonna circle this all the way back around, and then I'm gonna stop. But Libra is ruled by Venus, so it's about love at the end of the day, and love will move mountains. And we always talk about love in like a positive way, but also like love on the other hand, like you can love money. You know what I mean? Like, love is a powerful factor, and you will do whatever you can to keep safe the things that you love. So if your love is for money, you're not going to give a fuck. You're not going to give a fuck about who gets stepped on onto the way. But if your love is for self and for the people, for the earth, then you are going to do what you can to help that. You know what I mean? But yeah, check your heart space. Check what you're fighting for. Because sometimes we fight to stay stuck. Are we fighting things like, I don't give a fuck about these celebrities, bro? What you paying attention? The girls were fighting. That was kind of funny. That was funny. The girls were fighting. Also, Cardi, Libra, balance. But they do things to keep you distracted from your real liberation. I'll say that. But yeah, remember, the rabbit hole goes deep. It's never as simple as it seems this Libra season, especially because we are going into Scorpio right after that, and then the new moon in Libra is not until the end of the season. So we have to be very keen on our hastiness and our impulsivity, and we really have to think through things, because things will be balanced. We will be finding a little more balance at the end of the month, not the beginning like it has been, but the end, right? So this is a test of what discipline do you have, A, and B, like what are your actions actually doing?